I have three news stories for you. Firstly, a new human rights report on Eritrea due to be published in coming weeks says that the UN has evidence and reports that Eritrea deployed Somali soldiers to fight in Tigray. Secondly, Egypt has arrested an ex-diplomat, an ex-Egyptian diplomat who criticized Egyptian government's handling of Ethiopian dam dispute. Lastly, viewers, while the US is imposing sanctions on Ethiopia, China has completed yet another project in Ethiopia. China has completed the construction of Tana Beles Sugar factory in Amhara state of Ethiopia. I'll have a look at all these three news stories. Let's talk about the first news story, presence of Somali soldiers in Tigray. Since February, we have been hearing about Somali soldiers sent by Eritrea to fight in Tigray. Back in February 2021, ex-deputy head of NISA, National Intelligence and Security Agency of Somalia, Abdis Salan, had claimed that Eritrea had sent more than 4,000 Somali soldiers who were under training in Eritrea to fight in Tigray. He had said that several hundred had been killed in Tigray. But since then, we have been trying to find some sort of evidence. So it's the first time now that we have a little bit of evidence, viewers. UN Human Rights report is going to be published in the coming days, viewers. And some parts of this report have been leaked, viewers. UN Human Rights report on Eritrea due to be published in coming weeks says that UN officials received information and reports about the presence of Somali fighters, Somali soldiers in Tigray. And the officials received information that the Somali soldiers were sent from Eritrea, from military camps in Eritrea to Tigray to fight in Tigray war, viewers. And the report further says that there were reports about the presence of Somali soldiers in and near Aksum and in Mekelle, capital city of Tigray. So this is the first time that UN is speaking about the presence of Somali soldiers in Tigray. We have talked a lot about the presence of Eritrean forces in Tigray. Eritrea kept on denying, Ethiopia kept on denying. Ultimately, they had to acknowledge that Eritrean forces were in Tigray. Same is the case here, that no one confirmed that Somali soldiers were fighting in Tigray. But now UN Human Rights report on Eritrea is confirming to some extent that there was presence of Somali soldiers in Tigray. When this news broke about the presence of Somali soldiers in Tigray in February, Somali government had rejected this news. Information Minister of Somalia had issued a statement. He had rejected this news. Now, when the UN is speaking about this news, viewers, it could be a huge setback to Farmajo, President of Somalia. Abdullahi Farmajo is eyeing second term, viewers. Elections are due to be held in Somalia in the coming days. This scandal could harm Farmajo's bid for the next term, viewers, and UN is a credible source. What UN is saying, it's definitely based upon facts and based upon some information received on ground, viewers. Secondly, viewers, we know that families of missing soldiers have been protesting in Somalia. I covered that in several previous videos. Even 3 weeks ago, some Somali families protested in Mogadishu, views. At the Aljirka, the soon unknown soldiers monument, Several Somali families had protested last month in May, viewers. Take a look at Somali families protesting in Mogadishu, which happened last month, viewers.
dibadbaxay ku dalbanayaan in ilmahoodii loo soo celiyo nolol iyo geerina midun ay ku helaan ayay ka dhigeen magaalada Muqdisho waalidiin isugu jira rag iyo dumar waxa ay sheegeen in dawladda Soomaaliya carruur ay dhaleen ay u qaaday dalka Eritrea si loo soo askareeyo hase yeeshee ay la yihiin muddo dhowr sano ah
Somali opposition parties, Somali parliament's defense and foreign relations committees had been calling for a fact-finding mission to be sent to Eritrea to inquire into these allegations or claims of Somali soldiers fighting in Tigray. But Somali government had rejected all these demands. Now definitely Somali federal government led by Abdullahi Farmajo, president of Somalia, is going to be under pressure because Farmajo's bid for the next term could be in jeopardy because Somali families are protesting, their sons are missing. It could be a setback to the election campaign of Farmajo, president of Somalia. So now, viewers, we see that Tigray defense forces had been fighting so many opponents. Eritrean forces, Somali soldiers, Afar regional forces, Amhara regional forces, Ethiopian national defense forces, UAE's drones. So much is coming out now, viewers, that that is why they have been pushed on the back foot because they were fighting so many opponents on so many fronts, viewers. So if they have been confined to only some parts of Tigray, it's very understandable, viewers. But they're not finished, viewers. This war is going on in Tigray. Second update is from Egypt, viewers. Egypt has arrested an ex-diplomat who criticized Egyptian officials' handling of GERD dispute, viewers. Ethiopia and Egypt are locked into a dispute over the construction of a dam by Ethiopia over River Nile in Benishangul Gumuz state of Ethiopia. Egypt and Sudan have been issuing statements against Ethiopia. They have been warning Ethiopia against starting the second filling of the dam, which is due to start in the coming weeks, viewers. And an Egyptian ex-diplomat, Yahya Najm, had criticized Egyptian officials. He had said that they were speaking nonsense about Ethiopian dam dispute. Ethiopia was completing the project, and these Egyptian officials were just talking nonsense. So his comments did not go well with Egyptian government. He has been arrested. Egyptians have been raising questions about Egyptian government's handling of Ethiopian under construction dam. Egypt has been making very tall statements, but Ethiopia is all set to start the second filling of this dam. That is why Egyptian government is under fire to some extent at home about this crisis. Lastly, we have an update about Chinese investment in Ethiopia. While the US is imposing sanctions on Ethiopia and US is warning of further sanctions on Ethiopia, China has completed another project in Ethiopia. On Sunday, Tana Beles Sugar factory was inaugurated by Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. This project has been completed by a Chinese company. Its name is Sinomac. The project started in 2012, but it remained incomplete. In September 2019, Chinese company Sinomac took over, and in less than 2 years, the Chinese company had completed this project. Prime Minister of Ethiopia inaugurated this project. It's a huge sugar factory. with a capacity of 200,000 tons of refined sugar annually, viewers. And this company, Sinomac, has worked on some other power projects in Ethiopia as well. Interestingly, viewers, when Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of Ethiopia, inaugurated this Tana Beles Sugar factory in Amhara state, in his speech he said that he was fighting two enemies. Firstly, traitors. Secondly, outsider enemies. And he said that in order to take on outsiders, Ethiopia must destroy traitors first. Who are the traitors, viewers? Does he mean to say that TPLF, OLA, and other groups which are against Ethiopian government are traitors? It's a very alarming word, with traitor. Once you label someone traitor, it means that he or she is not loyal to your country. He is working against your country. Such terms must be used after deliberation, after having solid evidence. I think it's the last thing which you can say about an individual if you want to expel him from a country, if you want to charge him under treason, that he is a traitor. So the wording used by Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of Ethiopia, is alarming in my viewers. Thank you for watching.